Good morning. So as you know, I'm Councilmember Amanda Edwards, and I'm excited that you all are here. Many of you are returning again on one of my canvassings. This canvassing in particular, we're trying to assess where some of our residents are 1 year out since the storm. And so basically now some of these cases have been closed due to non-responsiveness. So for us, we want to know, what does non-responsive mean? Is that an instance where you got someone to already, a cousin, a friend, a contractor to take care of it for you? Or is it a situation where people have given up? And we do not want the latter, and that's why the only way you find that out is not just by repeated calls. Sometimes you have to go in person, find out for yourself, just like we got them checked into our system by going out door to door. We have to make sure that they're okay by going back out door to door. One of the things that's really important when we go to each of the homes that we'll be visiting today is that when we check on those homes, we are talking to the residents about what this packet actually contains. So we don't just drop it off and say thank you and who I am and sign up. We really want them to understand what resources they still have at their disposal. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you being here. Early on, we had lots of people out. This is a smaller crew because it's a smaller group of folks that were coming out to visit this morning. And hopefully when we go out and visit these folks, we will find that they got the help that they needed. That is what the goal or aim would be, but we don't want to leave any stone unturned and not know that that's why they're no longer responsive. And we just want to make sure they haven't given up or feel hopeless in this process again. So we're in the Houston Gardens area, and this was one of the first places that we came out and did canvassing. My office organized volunteers from all over the city to do canvassing of the area to check on a lot of folks in this community, our senior citizens, for example. Check on them, make sure first and foremost they were okay. Second, make sure that they had information that they needed. So we prepared Harvey supply packets that we passed out, information about where to get free furniture, how to clean out your home, those just details like that, and then of course connecting them to the actual manpower and the services to actually help them through that process, the case management services to get their homes cleaned out, get their homes, those sheetrock removed, all of those pieces of the puzzle. And this area looked immensely different than it does today. At that time, it was weeks out after the storm, just a few, above my head, some of the homes had garbage piled up, and so each home had a tremendous amount of garbage just before we were able to get it picked up from the city. And so it looked like and it felt like a very different place. Okay, we'll be right there. We'll be there in a second. So what I wanted to do is explain to you kind of some of the resources that are available in terms of if you have questions about your Harvey Harvey, let's say you got denied, appeals, those kinds of questions. There are these neighborhood restoration centers where you can go. It has the times, locations where you can go and get questions answered. Any case management assistance, you can go there. There's also information in here about how to properly clean, so when y'all go in the back, y'all got still some stuff to do in the back bedrooms, and so we want to make sure that there's no mold situation going on, so you want to try to get that done very quickly. And so there's information there, but this is really important in terms of getting access to those home repairs. And so they can assist with that. They do, and they all do, like they can come take that sheetrock out and do all that kind of stuff that is a little overwhelming. And so they can do that. So tell me this, were you denied with your FEMA claims and that sort of thing? Or okay,
I'm all from Richmond and Mason.
Okay.
And I lost everything.
You lost everything. Okay, so you need this for you too. Okay. Well, if you get stuck, just always know, you can let us know if you get stuck, and you got folks here that can help you if you need any help.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, y'all have a good one. Okay, good luck. A lot of the time when people stop answering the phone, sometimes it is because they got the help that they needed, but sometimes it's because they've given up and the process has become too complicated. When that happens, then you see people, then you see a situation where people give up and they feel like their case is going to be too overwhelming to repair, so they just feel like they're stuck, and they make do, and that's the challenge that we face. So this next house we're going to is someone we're going to be interviewing about what's happened since the storm. So tell us, Ms. Ozanne, can you just tell me a little bit about what you experienced as a result of Harvey in terms of flooding? Tell us a little bit about the background.
I've been through this with Allison, of course, you know, which was, 17 years ago? No matter how you prepare, you just don't expect it. But when it comes, it comes.
About how much did you get in?
I had about a foot of water.
Okay.
Some of my neighbors to the back got.
And you were here?
Yes, we were
Okay.
here. We didn't relocate till after.
Okay.
We had to get out. But we came back, and then, of course, all we could do was just get started.
Have you seen neighbors who have struggled in terms of not being quite as proactive as maybe you have been?
Yes, yes.
And so how are they getting help, or are they getting help?
They are getting help, and like I said, you just have to be proactive. You have to have some patience. It's not going to happen overnight.
Was it stressful?
It came and went. It came and went. But when you're used to living life and going through things, you always know that you just can't give up.
Yeah.
You have to keep going on. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I've learned through life, is that things going to happen.
And so it looks like you've gotten a lot of progress made in your home.
Very much.
So you had to gut out the walls. You now are in the appliances stage. Is that where you are?
That's
So
right.
you're getting your new appliances.
Yes, ma'am.
And so you're almost ready.
Call 311. Call 211. They're there. They'll help you. They'll take your information. You just have to have patience. It's just going to take some patience. And give them a chance, and you work with them, and you'll see some progress. It may not be 100%, but it's better than what it was.
House, like you see Miss Ozanne, she's gotten the help that she needs. She seems extremely resourceful, very proactive. She kept talking about that during her interview, proactive. So in circumstances where you have folks that can't be quite as proactive, and you see behind the walls that they have some more severe challenges. Either they pay their own doing their own savings expenses to hire contractors, or they've gotten volunteer resources or nonprofit case management assistance and nonprofits to assist them. The challenge with that is of course, when you look from the exterior at Houston, you think everything's already been done.
Right.
And so, those philanthropic dollars don't flow quite as fast as they used to. But nonetheless, that's still a really essential component of the recovery, because we haven't seen those federal dollars yet. Even though you've been hearing about them, they haven't touched ground in terms of them actually being here on the longer-term recovery needs. Of course, you had some of the more immediate response response needs being addressed and so forth. But right now, we're still in a position where we're waiting. How long did you stay out of your house while you were waiting to come back?
I just moved in a year almost.
So you just came back.
No, I'm not in the house.
So you're not even back in.
No,
Okay.
no,
So
no, I'm in another hotel.
okay. So you're still
Yes.
out of the home.
Yes.
Okay. And so tell me what are the needs? What did you face? You had to get rid of your sheetrock.
Everything,
Furniture.
the whole house, everything.
Okay.
That's mold. They're starting to retile this one. Looks like they have new carpeting.
We just talked to a gentleman who's had become non-responsive in terms of the help because of the fact that it was a very complex case, electrical, things like that, and they give up and say, I can't do this. And so we don't want any Houstonian being left behind in that way, and we want them to know that there's support for them. Don't feel overwhelmed by the process. It's a very long road ahead of them, and it's a complex road. And I think a lot of times people think about the initial volunteer response, and then they think that now all is well. And just because we've cleaned up the exterior doesn't mean the interior is in the shape that we need for people to remain safe, healthy, and of course get back to really recovering and back to their lives. Can you tell me about the importance that you have witnessed of having the volunteer-based organizations and nonprofit organizations that have assisted in this effort?
Well, Councilmember Edwards, I'm very grateful for the organizations, not only the St. Bernard Project, but Team Rubicon and all the others that are in the Houston area, in these Houston neighborhoods, going into the neighborhoods and understanding what the people of the community really, their needs. The most important need was the housing, and everybody just, all the organizations just coming together, and you know, I'm sure a lot of people are grateful, but I'm very grateful for everything that the organization has done. And I'm grateful for council members like you who come into the community and see what's going on and talking to the people and relating to the people for to bring awareness not only to the country but to those in Washington and Austin and Houston government, to let them know, hey, this is actually happening. This is actually what's going on in the communities. So,
And the thing is, Billy, I mean, you've managed to get a lot of assistance from wonderful groups,
Yes.
but a lot of people still haven't. Can you give some insight about what you know about some of your neighbors, what's happened around you in terms of needs that might still exist?
I hear all the time a lot of things, they have not started on my house, or FEMA did not give me enough money, not even to replace one room with the prices that a lot of the contractors are asking for, just for a kitchen and a restroom to be fixed. And it kind of, my heart goes out to them because, my God, these people just want to live. They just want their houses back. And on top of that, I think the more deeper issue has to be, do something about the flooding. Why is it taking so long? It's been over 18 years since the first flood of Tropical Storm Allison, and people are still getting flooded. I mean, in Corrigan, in South Houston, Corrigan South still gets flooded with a few raindrops. The Meyerland area gets flooded. Our bios get flooded real easily. What's going to happen with the next deluge of storms?
And you know, we're in hurricane season now.
This is hurricane season now. We still got a couple of good months before anything can happen. Anything can happen within now in November. Anything.
And it's a situation, I think, that when we think about, and this is the challenge that I think we're facing, it's one thing to rebuild your home, and we're certainly happy that you're rebuilding the home, but what are we doing to prepare ourselves for the next storm? Are we any better off than we were when Harvey hit in the first place? Or are we simply in the same circumstances? And to be honest with you, or frank with you, Billy, and that's all we've ever been, is that we're not positioned right now to be better off than we were in the first place. Now, we've been talking about it, we've been planning for it, discussing it, but we've got to get that federal funding, that state funding, to be right here in Houston for flood mitigation.
Yes.
We've got to see changes about in how our flood mitigation system works. We've got to see strong and significant investment. And so, yes, I'm proud and I'm happy for you that you've gotten your house in much better condition than it was the last time I was here. But I do think that there is a message that we have to communicate about the need to make sure that we're putting ourselves in a better condition than we were the last time around, because otherwise we expose residents just like you to the same nightmare you've had to endure. Some homes have had assistance, some have not. And I've just went into a couple of homes that we didn't put on camera, and the conditions, we need to get furniture removed. Some haven't had any changes since last year. And so, again, this is nearly a year out, and we need to make sure that nobody has Harvey become a turning point in their lives for them to then, have just disarray that continues on and on and on and on. And we hope to get that turned around for them, or at least help them start on that path.